So, welcome to this first episode of AIPE Podcast. As you all know, our Association of Insolvency Professional Entities, it has been a successful venture of all the IPEs in India. We have almost 125 members, and we are working for the advocacy and promotion of the insolvency ecosystem. So, in this sequence, we wanted to share the skills developed by individual IPs or the experience gained by individual IPs, which normally remains with the IP itself. It is not shared with the other professional. So we thought, why not interact with those experienced professionals, our colleagues who have successfully performed some transactions and who will have very good stories to tell and good experience to share. So in that sequence, for the first podcast, we have with us Mrs. Anju Agarwal. She is an experienced IP. I think she got her license in 2017.
Yes, sir.
License 17. And I have her association with her since beginning because being in IBBI in the initial stages. So we interacted in workshops, training programs, and then subsequently being the head of NCLT in SBI. So we kept on meeting frequently on various occasions.
Yes.
So I have a very good experience with her, and I thought, why not share this experience with you all? So let me start with a brief background of Anjuji. So she started as an entrepreneur. That's a good thing, and that's a very different thing what I see in other IPs. Most of the IPs come from either CA background, company secretary, or maybe bankers like me,
Yes.
or lawyers. But she is one unique case who has started her career as an entrepreneur. She started as a jewelry entrepreneur,
Yes.
very successfully, and then she moved on to the other areas of business of consultancy, and then lately to insolvency. Management and consultancy, right? So my first question would be to her is that how did your entrepreneurship experience help you in this
Yes.
journey of as a IP?
So thank you, Sanjeev ji. Thank you for having me in your first podcast. And I would like to tell here that AIPE, which we formed as we are 5 founding members. So with others, so I'm also in the board of the AIPE, and this has given me really good platform to showcase our expertise, and I think it will be beneficial for all the upcoming RPs and IPEs whosoever is planning to make a IP, or if wanting to join, like any RP who's wanting to join the IP, it will be a very good platform for everybody. So thanks once again to have me here. Sanjeev ji, actually I would say ki for RP business, which I was very vocal about in the initial years of IPE or IP also, or the insolvency ecosystem also, that in fact all the RPs who have management experience or entrepreneurial experience, they are much better, in a much better position to handle insolvencies. Why I would tell? Because insolvency, one is the aspect which is the legal aspect of the CIRP, that we have to comply with the law and do all the compliances of the IBC. But major aspect of this act is actually running the corporate debtor as a going concern, which is a very, very critical aspect. And if we are only pure professionals who have been just doing the consultancy work, may not be very well versed with the nitty-gritties or the issues of running a business. So actually it came in very handy with me, my entrepreneurship experience, as in the start of or in the beginning of my career. It actually became very convenient for me, because as soon as I became IP, I exactly knew. And obviously later on when I moved on to consultancy and management consultancy, so that also helped me a lot, because most of I think we have clients in most of the industries in ASA. We have more than 3,000 plus clientes, multinationals and Indians. So we had worked for all kinds of industries, and we had experience of running, in fact, because when you are doing any type of financial consulting to any industry, you understand like how this industry works.
You get into the shoes of the
into the shoes of the
client,
CEOs or the management and things like that. So both these experiences really helped me to shape my career as insolvency professional. Yes.
So coming from that, I remember in one of the workshop I was taking, so one of the IPs stood up. Sir, if I don't get that information, how would I work? Because he came from the background of an audit.
Yes.
So as a chartered accountant, he was doing only audit. He says, if I don't get the documents, if I don't get can I work?
Yes.
Then I told him, gentlemen, here you own the factory now. So once you are the RP, you are not a professional anymore.
Yes.
You are the owner.
Yes.
You have to behave like that.
Yes.
So now you have to apply your mind, apply your skill, how to get around that problem.
Yes.
So that is the entrepreneur. So as you rightly said, your entrepreneurship experience came handy. So which was the first successful case you did, like which first experience?
Yeah. So I would say that it's a very good question in the sense. So I was definitely coming from the consulting background, but we did not have much experience in the, I would say, restructuring as such, or SURFACE or like BFIR, which was earlier regime. So we didn't, like, as a consultant, because before IBC, our 95% of clientele was multinationals only. Okay. And that is why we didn't have any experience with the insolvencies per se.
Distressed cases. Maybe.
Or distressed cases for that matter. So when we started this practice, and being the MD of ASC group of companies, this responsibility was given to me, that this vertical I have to start and establish the practice. And whenever I used to go to the bankers, like after getting the registration as RP, and in fact, we had formed the IPE in the very beginning of 2016 only, when the code was about to notify, but we got that registered as IPE in the 2017 sometime, later in 17. So we already had formed one another legal entity to handle this work. So the responsibility was given to me, and wherever I would go for work, so it was always a chicken and egg story for me. They will ask for my experience. The banks will ask for the empanelment, like which bank you are empaneled with, and I would not have that, and nobody in my, in fact, organization would have that, because we didn't have that experience. But I knew that I could do it, because I understood, like, we had all kinds of, I would say, expertise in-house. So I knew that I could manage this work. I could very well execute insolvencies, but I was not getting the work. Then finally, one day, I was, I would say, given this case, which was a Section 10 application by a corporate debtor. So this was an insolvency filed by one of our friends' father-in-law, actually. So when he came, and he had actually approached already to someone else. He didn't know that we are also doing this work. So he had come to meet us in our office casually, like, because generally wo humse milne aaye, and he was like, he saw our setup, he talked to me personally, and he was very convinced that I want my case to be done by you. And that's how he said, like, I want that you should be the RP. So in fact, he had already filed the application. He changed the RP after that. After meeting with me, and he said, "Nahi, I will give you this chance. And I know that you don't have experience, but I trust you." And that's how, like, that changed the whole thing for us. And as soon as I was appointed as the first IRP, then RP, and then liquidator, and in fact, later on, the 95% of the COC members were bankers and ARC. And because of my diligent work and because of my dedication towards work, they actually, otherwise, you also understand, even in the Section 9 application also, COC would change. Section 10, so there was no question that COC would not change. And this was a Section 10 application.
Now even code changed. Like,
Yeah.
Succession certificate application,
Ex-
they never appoint the IPE
IP.
nominated by the promoter or the applicant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But because they could see that
Yeah.
even if I was appointed by the promoter or the corporate director itself, but still they saw that I am doing the fair and transparent work, and they appointed me from IRP to RP. And when the company went into liquidation, means when the resolution plan could not be succeeded, then liquidator also was made to me. So they could understand that I have been doing my job correctly. So this was the game changer.
Okay.
And once I got this case, so meanwhile I had empaneled. So before this case started, I had empanelment, I think, from every bank. So
SBI, I think
I got in July 17
Yeah.
only. I got empanelment. So SBI, PNB by that time, Bank of Baroda was part of. In any case, the COC of this case. And then first bank I would definitely like to tell that Karnataka Bank was the first one who gave me empanelment, and because of that empanelment, that I started getting all my banks in empanelment. So by the time I think July, August 2017, I was empaneled with all the banks. But then banks were little hesitating. But as soon as we got one case, we started getting assignments. Or in the meanwhile, also, like, we had started getting assignment from August, September onwards. But you understand that court had already started, taking time in accepting the application. So it took time that the cases started.
So was this Sri Bhavani operating company or already
no,
stalled
so
company?
they were actually in BFIR already.
Okay.
Yeah, so
It
they
was a
came
good
from
deal.
so
So
they
basically
came
it
from,
was meant for liquidation only.
so it was a very good asset, and we actually got our first resolution plan very good.
Okay.
So I would, Sanjeev ji, I would definitely like to mention here that the evolution, this law, with the pace amendments have happened, with the pace and I would say commitment, government, all the regulatory bodies, all stakeholders have developed this jurisprudence and ecosystem. It's amazing. Before this in India, it has never happened. It has never happened for any legislature to work like this. So what happened? Like, there were very hitches in the law. There were very many gaps in the law, and through the judgments, through the amendments, those gaps were fixed. So what happened? In my this Sri Bhavani case also, we actually got very good plan. In the very first year, actually, I had a approved resolution plan from COC in the very first 300 days.
And this was by the promoter or somebody else?
No, somebody else, outside parties,
Outside.
purely outside parties. And we had a very good, although the factory was closed from 2014, still in 2018, I got a very good plan. Almost 60-70% recovery every stakeholder was getting. But what happened? I got the plan, the plan was approved, and then plan was filed to NCLT. NCLT was considering an Allahabad bench, to my unfortune, that it was a very slow bench. Always. So about 6-7 months, the plan did not get approved. Meanwhile, what happened? With the RA, something happened. So RA withdrew. And if you remember, before the EDUCOM order, RAs were okay, or RAs were free to withdraw. If the plan, if anything in their personal space or in their professional space, if something happens, they could withdraw. So after EDUCOM, it's not possible, which is, like, I would say, blessing for RPs, because RPs do a lot of efforts to bring a good resolution plan. And if the RA later on defuncts or it does not kind of implement the plan, it becomes a very huge problem for us, and it becomes on us also, like, for our success also, it's very very important. So at that time, EDUCOM was not there. It was a very early time of IBC. So the RA,
many cases were there of withdrawal, like MTech Auto,
Yes.
Liberty House Group withdrawal plan.
Yes.
So
So there were
instances.
many plans which were withdrawn initially,
frustrated.
in the initial years. So this plan was withdrawn, and after that also, in fact, because the asset was good, we actually got plans in the second round also. We got good plans in the second round also, but in the second round, BOB, which was one of the COC members, did not approve the plan. So in the second round, plan could not muster 66% of voting.
But at the time, 66% has come.
Yes, 66% was always there for approval of the plan. So the second time,
that also came through amendment. Na? Initially, it was 75%.
Yes. So later on, it was reduced. Yes. But the COC was so divided in this that both the major financial creditors, which was one was the BOB and the another was Indian Bank, but Indian Bank had already assigned their debt to JM FARC. Okay. So JM was part of the COC, and both has such voting percentage that if both will not approve, the plan will not get approved, because one was 40%, one was 45%, something like that. So both these had to. So the BOB did not approve.
So did you receive the same value in liquidation or lesser value?
Yeah. So but liquidation by then. So by then what happened, because twice the resolution plan could not get through. So then by that time the sentiment of market was not very positive for the asset, and the asset was also like quite depreciated, in the sense the machine and building was I had kept it very well, but the value and if you remember, the paper company itself, the imported raw material had become very expensive. The whole ecosystem of, because Sri Bhavani, it is a Raebareli, and like whatever raw material they were getting to make paper, that was not abundantly available. So in the liquidation, we did not get that good value, but we got.
So that is, I think, one I think education for the stakeholders. They always accept the plan.
Yes.
That is always I used to say.
Plan is always
must not
better.
Lose a plan.
Yes.
Because once you go to liquidation, you always lose value.
It always loses value. I wouldn't say always, because we have another
98% case. 2% maybe. I remember
there are exceptions to this.
I remember
case.
one case where one of the good IP, senior IP of Delhi was there. I'll not name him here. So he came to me, sir, I think there is a cartel already. So I got 3 plans, 43, 44, 45. This was a steel pipe company. So 3 plans, I can see the cartel. All 3 are 1 crore here and there. I said, what should we do? Like, okay, you take it to liquidation and then do it as a going concern. At the time that going concern.
So I also sold Sri Bhavani actually as going concern. They have started operations now.
So actually in that case, we received under going concern 96 crore. Because I could arrange more applications going concern, and we could have double the amount. So sometimes it is successful, but I think most of the time liquidation is not the recommendation.
So in one of our cases also, the plan came at whatever value it came, but in liquidation we sold it for double the price. So in one of our cases this has happened.
So coming back to your experience, so I understand you did your schooling from Haldwani.
Yes.
And then you did your MBA, graduation from Delhi University.
Yes.
So how can you share like your knowledge or training as a MBA?
Yes.
How did it come handy for your profession, like insolvency professional?
Yes. So this was also very useful because in MBAs generally you are taught finance, accounting, operations, HR, organizational behavior, management related, like everything. So obviously, like I had all the bookish knowledge as MBA, but like when I did my entrepreneurship, I actually used all those knowledge for doing my business. And then later on, when I moved into consulting as progression of my career, so in consulting also, like because we were from the starting on the demand of clients, we started, we kept adding services in our organization. So I was being the MD of my own consulting company. So we have multiple legal entities because we have chartered accountant firm also. We have IPE, we have consulting company also, advisory firm also. So we have multiple firms in the ASC group umbrella only. And we were providing all sorts of services. So this was helping me a lot to understand 360-degree views of running a company. So from finance to accounting to HR function, so dealing with employees. So when we come as insolvency professional in any of the companies, you understand like employees are very resistant of taking the, I would say, orders, or I would say, in fact, to even confide with the RPs initially, with the dialogues, with the communication, with the right, understanding and making them understand about the process, making them understand about like they are not at any threat as long as they are doing their work, as long as they are doing their duties. Communication basically. Yeah. So this helped me a lot in the whole creating the image for my organization in the insolvency ecosystem. It really helped.
So I think it will be a good idea for AIP to start something like a MBA for IPs, maybe shortcut MBA, 2-3 months, where they get all these skills. What you so HR skills, communication skills.
Yeah, so you very well said. In fact, GIP program, which the government had brought for the youngster to bring in, bring in early in this profession. So they have created the curriculum as such that only 1 year they study and 1 year the whole year they actually take trainings into different sectors, into say, so they do trainings in banking, they do training at NCLTs, they do training with IPEs, they do training in consultancies, they do so these are the all trainings or internships which helps them shaping in or understanding how, because all these things they will have to handle once they become the RPs. They have to do all the time court hearings, court culture. They have to understand the court culture. They have to understand the whole banking, how the banking works. Say for example, for me itself, like I was although into consulting, but banking was something I didn't know anything before insolvency. The whole banking I have understood, the whole banking system I have understood only after coming to. So insolvency, not only you deliver, but from the day one, as an insolvency professional, you learn a lot of things. Matlab, it's a ongoing learning. And
your second MBA, you get it after doing it.
Actually. And I think you would appreciate initially when IBC came, no insolvency professional had any pre-hand experience. So we had to simultaneously deliver and learn. Deliver and learn and deliver. It was like that. So continuously we learn and we are still learning. Yeah.
So as I see your profile, you have done a considerable, I think 3-4 real estate insolvency.
Yes.
So tell us some of your experience about it, because I feel, as per my experience goes, real estate is the most complex kind of insolvency, and you deal with multiple class of creditors, including home buyers who are like really challenging lot to handle.
Agitated class. Yes.
So tell us something how you turned them around successfully.
Sure. So my experience with the real estate actually started from JP Infratech case, where although I was not the RP, I was the AR, and this was the concept which was actually brought in from that account. From that case.
AR concept came from JP only.
From JP only. So
even home buyer became a COC member through that
case. So if you would know that we were the first ARs of the country under the code. So there was Kuldeep, who was AR for home buyers, and I was AR for FD holders. So home buyers were about 22,000 and 6,000-7,000 were FD holders. And we both were ARs and we were part of the COC. So, JP was the largest real estate case at that time. After that, we had so many big cases, like we had.
But I think that kind of numbers are still not there. Number of home buyers.
Supertech has. Supertech has. Supertech. I will come to the Supertech. They have multiple legal entities. Actually, I am IRP in one of the entities, but then they have like multiple, and the Supertech Limited, which is their flagship entity, it has multiple numbers of In fact, it has the largest number of projects. But in that case, the insolvency is happening in very different styles. Because later on, if you remember that the new amendment came where real estate insolvencies will be project-wise. So if one project is
reverse
CIRP, project-wise CIRP. So there are many concepts which developed into the real estate arena. So my experience in JP Infratech, so what happened, like there were 14 COC members in the COC of JP Infratech, and they had seen my work, my presentation, my knowledge, and my appreciation of the law. So that's how it happened such that most of the cases which were given to me from the lenders side, from the bankers, it was in some or the other form of the real estate only. So the first case which came my way was actually IP Constructions Private Limited. So although it was purely not a home buyer case, there is a 4-star hotel which was running in this. So in this case, what had happened, that promoter actually had sold all the rooms to the investors. To the investors, saying in the promise of a fixed return on their investment.
Mahindra kind of a
Sort of. So he had 2-3 promises to the buyers. That one, that there is one unit which is in your name, in the sense like. So the allotment, although was not ever promised, but just for the identification purposes, he had allotted rooms to them as one commercial unit, and he had promised them the fixed amount, like with fixed interest on their investment, and also some few nights in a year to use them as like they could use them, or they could transfer those nights to anybody. They could have like 10 to 12 nights in 1 year. So this kind of arrangement he had with the investors.
Hotel was in
Ghaziabad, Vasundhara, Golden Tulip. Yes, Golden Tulip was the hotel. So Golden Tulip was the brand name. So
and it was a complete hotel, running hotel.
It was a running hotel. It was a full-fledged running hotel. 160 keys, 65 keys, out of which 105 keys were working, and 60 rooms. So rooms were made, but they were not functional. The interior was left. Yeah. So 105 keys were running. And it was a full-fledged running hotel. And throughout, in fact, if you remember, there was a Corona period when there was such a issue. And at that time, we ran the hotel, in the sense we were having these repartition flights from the government side. So I kept the business, and you won't believe the hotel from its beginning time and until the insolvency never did the kind of business which it did business under my regime. Yes. And I had collected, in fact, after taking out all the cost, after taking out all the Corona time losses, covering all those losses, after funding the whole CIRP cost, after doing everything, 12 crores I had collected in this bank when I handed over it to the SRA.
That was kind of EBITDA you generated.
Yes. So I had collected 12 crores of corpus in the bank accounts. So that much business hotel did during my tenure. So this is how. So in this also, there was actually 3 class of creditors. One was purely because this is a complete complex actually. So there was a hotel, then there were banquets, then there was a gym, and there was this commercial shops also which were sold. So there was commercial class, there was secured allottees of these service apartment classes, and there was unsecured allottees also. So there were 3 classes, in fact. So in this COC, I have 3 ARs, because these were 3 different type of classes. Yes. So and this I have very successfully, and in fact every stakeholder got 105% of their debt size.
Full recovery.
Full recovery. There was
because the market turned around by the time you could get a plan.
Yes. And apart from that, like I collected so much of amount in the banks for the SRA to enjoy.
So on top of that.
On top of that. Yes.
So very successful.
Yes. So the plan has already been implemented and everybody got their dues. One little litigation is still going on. One class of creditor, like one creditor in one of the classes.
SRA was third party?
Yes. No. SRA was one of the creditors actually from the class of creditors. Yeah. So there is no bar in the, like creditors can always be the resolution applicants. So one of that. Then the second which came my way was the Alpine Realtech. Again, this was a purely real estate case. All residents, like about 400 home buyers. And
in Ghaziabad or Noida?
So this is in FNG, Faridabad, Noida, and Ghaziabad
all
Road.
three places you have projects.
No.
Mhm.
So it is. So there is an FNG area where
Okay.
these all, like from all these three cities, they merge in Greater Noida area somewhere.
Oh, okay. Achha, I
Yes.
didn't know that.
No. This is a very prime location right now.
Okay. So there are
Surajpur.
all three boundaries are there. In that
Yes,
area.
all three roads merge, like connects from in one place.
Okay.
So that is called, this whole area is called FNG only.
Okay.
Faridabad, Noida, Ghaziabad.
Ah.
Trajectory it is like.
Mm.
So all these three roads
Very well connected.
very well connected from all over the places. So this was the second real estate which I got. 400 home buyers, about 300 crores debt size. 50% almost debt size is with the banks and 50% of
And
home
what
buyers.
stage of construction was that?
In this, almost 50% construction is only.
Just the 50 structure.
Only structure is there.
That
Yeah.
means only 20% of completion. Right?
No, but floor plates are almost
Those are
there.
there.
Yeah,
Okay.
floor plates are almost there. So I would say civil construction 40-50% is there, but the whole interior is underdeveloped. Not developed, and even the common spaces are not developed. In this case, actually, this case came into insolvency because of the like fraudulent transactions by the promoters. So the bank has actually declared them willful defaulters. The CBI is after them, ED is after them, like all kinds of departments are after EOW. So in fact, when I came as RP, I actually collected all the data from EOW only because the promoters were already absconding. So we did not get anything from them actually. So no information, no data was provided by them. So EOW only had confiscated some data, and they had actually been behind the bars also, like before the CIP started, and after that they were absconding. So they never were, available. So in this case, would have not been gone into insolvency if the promoters have not siphoned up. So almost 200 crores rupees the promoters had siphoned from this. So the whole bank money, they have created entities, they have created individuals. Say for example, for transportation, they will, if the transportation cost should have been, say for example 10,000, they have paid lakh rupees for that. So like that. So a lot of siphoning of funds have happened in this case.
So what happened to the resolution?
So as I said, unfortunately, because a lot of fund was siphoned off and the construction has not been done and most of the inventory has been sold, so not much juice had left for any investor.
Okay, so 25% was the value.
And construction is left about 60%.
60%.
So you can imagine. So for any investor, there is no return on investment that they will come. But still finally, after about 4 or 5 rounds of EOI, we finally got a plan. The plan is now almost, the order is reserved on approval of the plan. Because it took a lot of time, because every time I will take out EOI, the EOI will not be successful, the CIRP time will expire, I will again go for an extension of the CIRP, and every time court will take enough time to, so there is an escalation cost which home buyers has to give.
तो आपने बताया कि अल्पाइन वाला आपने बड़ा केस किया, उसके बाद सबसे बड़ा जो रियल एस्टेट में आपने केस किया, आई थिंक सुपरटेक
एज आरपी. यस.
उसके बारे में थोड़ा बताइए.
Yeah. So as I said, like every real estate case is like very different, and in fact real estate animal is very different. Like in the insolvency,
even
I'm
I think different real estate are also different, like different builders have different kind of.
Yes. So in this case, what happened, like first the CIRP order came, that also took a lot of time to come, but anyways it came, and within 15-20 days.
And this company was Supertech, the main company? Or
no. So it is Supertech Realtors Private Limited. It is the 100% subsidiary of Supertech Limited, which is their flagship company.
It is the same group which had the demolition order by Supreme Court, no?
Yes.
That company was
2
what?
towers. So this was in another company. That company is not in insolvency. Those 2 projects were in some other company. But otherwise, in the Supertech group itself, 5-6 companies are into insolvency. And mine company is this one, which is the Spira Tower, the round building, very tall round building.
Near the metro station?
Near the metro station.
Okay, next to metro station.
Next to metro station, right after the D&D. So you can see that building from the whole D&D also.
And for the metro line.
And the metro line also. So this is another like very beautiful, I would say. The whole project is very beautiful. The building itself is very beautiful. The Spira Tower, which is like very, I would say, iconic tower because it's the tallest building in the whole Delhi NCR. And it is very strategically located location, like very just after the D&D of Delhi and
Entrance of Noida,
entrance of Noida, and very well connected with the metro and
even that expressway
and the expressway, everything. So when this came, so within 20 days they brought us stay on this constitution of COC. So the CIRP was not stayed. I was doing all my duties as IRP. Corporate debtor going concern was totally with me. I was taking care of all the operations, and this is also one of the accounts like which is fully functional company. So not only the construction is going on, the finishing fixtures is happening, allotments is happening, like the units, because you know that after insolvency, without the NOC of the banks, we cannot sell. But whatever sold units were there, so allotments have happened. So almost 315 units have been allotted during
you
this
also
period.
allotted some units or
So the corporate debtor, with corporate debtor, we have allotted.
So under IBC, I think they allow.
Yes, because it's a real estate company. So
now I think IBC is allowed, right, to do the allotment.
Yes. So already sold units we can allot. So the construction was happening.
And without OC also you can allot.
Yeah, because already people are living. So whatever units are complete and whatever infrastructure is complete, we are allotting them.
In Mumbai, I think they have like that. Without OC, you can always occupy the building.
Yes, this is happening here. So in my this project, like there are 6 towers basically. So one commercial tower is completely completed, like, and sold and occupied. 2 residential towers are completely built, everything in place and sold out, and occupants are there. And Spira Tower, which is like partially completed, but there's also a lot of occupancy happens. So this was particularly peculiar case because there were residents, there were commercial units, and these in Spira Tower there are multiple floors where they have sold these units as a serviced apartments. So these service apartments, owners of these units have given them for Airbnb. They run them in their own company also. And because of this reason, you cannot sort of control like who is coming and what they are doing. Because this is purely commercial units. But at the same time, in the same building, there are residents also. There are residential units also. So from the time I came, there were very different and peculiar problems every home buyers will bring. Almost like 1,800 to 2,000 home buyers, which are always, kind of in communication with us, calling, mailing, asking us to meet, complaining about the facilities, complaining about the infrastructure, complaining about non-completion of certain works, so a whole lot of issues.
And these were premium flats.
And these are very, very premium flats. They are multiple of crores rupees. Like one service apartment units, 1 bedroom unit is about 1.25, 1.5 crores. So they're expensive units. And in fact, the residential unit goes up to 5 to 6 crores. The big ones.
They deserve some service, no?
So they deserve some. And then they're paying also maintenance charges. But the whole amenities are still not in place. So because of that, a lot of unrest amongst the home buyers and people who have paid completely and whose units have not been deployed or also not allotted, they will have their own type of complaints. People who have taken the possession but they have not completed the work. So they will have different kind of issues. So I will keep getting, kind of threats also. I will keep getting complaints also. But I get a lot of appreciation also because we kind of satisfied them. We kind of hear them. We solve their problems. There was so I would like to tell that there was a huge problem. So what happened? I was talking about like these 2 commercial towers which are completely sold and constructed, and almost 90% occupancy is there. So these commercial, resident owners have made an association also, like
Resident Welfare Association.
Residents Welfare Association. Now they were wanting, because the law provides them that the maintenance of their own buildings they can have in their own hands.
After 5 years, I think they have to allow.
Yes, and then this YG Estate, which is a promoters related party company, which is doing the maintenance of the project as of now, they filed an application against them that we, for our 2 towers, we will take the maintenance in our own hands. So they, a lot of jugglery happened, but finally they got a positive order for themselves from NCLAT. And now NCLAT directed the RP, which is like I am, they directed me to comply with that order, to give the handover from SNOA, from YG Estate to SNOA, which is the Welfare Association. Now it is such a 2,000 home buyers data from the inception, like from the day they have bought, their maintenance charges which has been collected by the agency, and now handing over that. And then the major problem was, because the project is not completed, I need YG Estate also, like I need a third party maintenance agency also, and these people want there. Now there are multiple services which are still common, and they want ownership of theirs, the Welfare Association, and YG Estate says, like, how can I give them 100% ownership, because they are not owners, or they are not Welfare Association of all the other buildings. They are only owners of 2 buildings, but they can take. Now there is security, there is common areas, there are common areas, there is electricity panels, there is SDP, there is WTP, there is like construction work going on, and all these things are common. How would you kind of distinguish between and who is using how much? How will you establish that? So obviously very difficult situation. But we are still we are still trying to, kind of communicate with both these agencies, and we are trying to work out, and we have almost ironed out most of the things by dialogue, by communication, multiples of meetings, from day till night meetings.
Again, the communication is most important.
Multiple times, police has come in the project, and I have to represent everything. I have to talk to them, SDM to DM to all sorts of.
These are all high-flying customers, no?
High-flying customers.
Who has paid 6 crore, he is not an ordinary man.
Everybody is connected there, from promoter to this maintenance agency to the residents of the apartments. Everybody is very well connected, very highly placed people. Most of them there are so many senior lawyers, AORs, Supreme Court lawyers. There are so many IAS officers. There are so many government department.
Even some judges also.
Judges. So yes, all kinds of high-flying people, and everybody. They all want me to kind of do what they are wanting to do. Yeah, they are calling for. So it becomes very, very sometimes challenging.
How did you sort it out then?
By dialogue, sir. By solving their problems. Because one thing which I completely understand, not only after becoming insolvency professional, I appreciate this maximum, but in my general life also, problems will always be there. But solving the problem is something what we do.
So you should always be solution-oriented.
Solution. So problems will be there, and if we cannot solve the problems, we are not rightfully the professionals. So
we are not fit for the job.
We are not fit for the job. So if we are not resolving the issues of the people, then there is no point of being in consulting. Yeah.
That's what I remember. One of my customers in the State Bank used to tell me, sir, as an entrepreneur, I always keep thinking about my business.
Yes.
That is the job of RP actually.
Yes.
And so get into the issues of the businessman.
Yes.
Even while sleeping, you have to think about the company, the problems, the solutions.
Yeah.
And some people think it is still an audit job. No, it is not like that.
No. It's not just audit job. It's a complete entrepreneur's job plus professional's angle.
And then you have to be creative.
Yes.
All the time you have to come with creative solutions.
And this happens a lot of times. In fact, my team sometimes will say, ma'am, this, how we do it, ma'am, that, how. And we have to all the time come out from out of the box solutions, and all the time, you can't keep running to different stakeholders. All the time you can't keep asking the opinions of the people.
And every time you don't find a book where everything is
written.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have to create solutions. Yes, we have to create solutions.
So finally, what is the stage of Supertech now?
Yeah, so now the case is still going on in Supreme Court. So after NCLAT vacated the stay on the constitution of COC, I constituted this. So 13th August 2025, this year only, actually full-fledged CIP started, and I have already have 3 COC meetings by now.
How many members are there?
In the COC, 4 banks are there majorly. So initially there were 5 banks, but after the merger of the banks, now there are 4 banks. So 4 banks.
Still manageable, I would say.
Yeah, this is still manageable. Yes, and 2 ARs and 1 or 2 financial institution, private like L&T Finance and things like that. Yeah. So this is now, so after NCLAT, the promoters had gone to the Supreme Court. So now Supreme Court has appointed one amicus curiae to generally look, even to monitor over me and to monitor the whole process. And the suggestions.
Supreme Court is also double mind. Should we go through IBC or outside? Is it like
yeah, so I think Supreme Court is looking into something court-appointed agency kind of a thing, like something which happened in Amrpali or Unitech, but lenders particularly are not very happy because in their experience, the lenders did not get very good resolution of their debt in these kind of processes. And specifically, Supreme Court asked from me through amicus curiae, they asked me, and even I believe and I completely trust, because this company is very beautiful. The asset is very beautiful, and we still have a lot of inventory.
And
Almost
value
50% inventory we
Underlying
still have
value.
unsold, underlying value. So I completely believe that every stakeholder can have more than 100% recovery actually. So anything which kind of enables or enables or empowers the IBC process is more than welcome. So even if Supreme Court, kind of makes some kind of monitoring agency or makes some kind of committee,
that will only delay the process. I don't think it will.
but if that committee actually works under the aegis of IBC, then I believe the recovery will be very good. But if it is completely, something like Supreme Court led process, so then I don't think the recovery could be like that good. But yes, with the I would say framework of the IBC, even if there is a committee which is kind of taking or overtaking or overseeing the process, still the process can really fetch very good value.
This case particularly, it has some underlying value, no?
Yes.
As you discussed earlier.
Yes.
So wherever in real estate you have some residual value for the investor, a resolution will come.
And this is one kind of project where any developer would be proud to complete this project and take over. So any developer who has this capacity to do, which we have plenty of now,
and even market is in a boom.
Market in a boom. And in fact, sir, just 1 week or 10 days back, there was an article in the Financial Express. I'm sure other newspapers will also have. I have read at Financial Express that in India generally, the real estate is booming, and in India, Noida is at number 1 where the appreciation has happened. Year on year, 20 to 25 years appreciation has happened in the last 5 years. So Noida is
even bigger than Gurgaon.
So the appreciation in Noida has happened maximum in India. Yes.
And now with the airport, it will go further.
And with the Zevar airport, all the Noida properties are like at the boom. So I have very great trust and belief that this project can really fetch very good value. Much more than the debt size. Yes.
Now let me ask you a personal question.
Yes.
So did you face any problem as a IP and as because of your gender, being a woman IP? Do you face any additional challenges, or it's like
No.
same experience for both? So
Yeah. So in
or
my
you have some advantage as IP,
Okay,
female IP.
yeah. So I would not say that I got any advantage of being a woman.
Mhm.
That I don't see.
Okay.
But at the same time, I do not see any disqualification also being a woman in this. So the only once or twice, in this is I'm talking about 2017-18,
Mhm.
when insolvency only had started. So if you remember, like Mamta Binani, who was a like such a big insolvency
Brand name at that
brand
time.
name at that time,
Yeah.
and she was inspiration to so many people and so many women. So I don't think, like, from the very first day, women were discouraged to take this
And I think
profession.
she has number one IP.
And she was the number one.
I gave her the number one IP, no?
Yes,
The first license
the
number one she
registration.
has.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So if I say that, so I would, in fact, would even say that she was a role model and ideal for so many women who came into this field. So I wouldn't say many disqualifications. Only twice, thrice in the meetings, only in the committee meetings and things like that, I would find that I'm the only woman on the table, and men would ask me, like, what brought you here types.
They don't take you seriously. Something like that?
Yeah, something like that. So they would not take seriously. But when I would start talking, and when they will hear me, so I think this happened with the lenders also initially. They must have thought, although I got all my work from the banks. So initially they must have thought that maybe for a woman it would not be that easy. But I think, to my advantage, what happened was that I was coming from a consulting background and I had a full-fledged team with me. So that is something which really helped me in taking assignments, that they saw that I'm not just alone. And that is, then again, I would say this goes not only for women, even for men. So any
infrastructure is important. That's what
very important. That what support you will get if any banks kind of trusts you enough to give you an account.
So basically, it's not a one-man job.
It's not a one-man job.
Many people as IPs were trying to do.
Yeah.
Not a one-man job.
Not a one-man job at all. So I think my consulting background helped me in bringing me to that pedestal, that they never thought that being a woman should be a deterrent for me to be appointed as IRB. Yeah. So that in my personal experience, I did not see that.
And like while handling assignments, were you also sometimes fearful of what IBA will do at my back if I take this decision, do this?
Yes.
Was that fear always in your mind?
That is
like,
always hanging there.
Prevalent fear in most of the IPs all the time.
Yes, that is always there. But Sanjeev sir, I would, kind of very proudly say this. We have 12 RPs in my IPE, and other than that, I have worked with 5-6 more RPs who were not part of my IRP. So I have done process advising for ERA Infra, which was out of the 12 big cases.
Mr. Chakravarti
was there. And for 4.5 years, I provided process advisory for that big account. And I was the team lead because the work was given on my face completely.
You were appointed by the RP?
I was appointed by the RP and obviously voted by the COC. And 34 COC members. ERA Infra is the largest COC.
And even not resolved today. Even today it is under resolution.
No, the resolution plan has been approved and it is implementing.
Yeah.
It is approved now and it is now it's in the implementation.
And who brought the plan? Who is the RA?
There is this. I'm just forgetting the name. But there's another company. Some
But it is the longest running, I think, CRP.
Yes.
It's a record.
Yes, it's a record.
I have been tracking it since that dirty zone list came.
Yes.
That day onward, till I retired 5 years later.
It was
not resolved.
Yes. So the problem actually with ERA Infra was that the whole asset was in the arbitration.
Yeah. So another personal question. So you started sometime in 99-2000. You finished your MBA.
Yes.
And immediately came into entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And now it is almost 25 years. So 10 years in insolvency. And 10 years in consultancy. And another 10 years in entrepreneurship. That's maybe 5-6 years.
Yes.
So how do you maintain your work-life balance? So that is the very relevant question nowadays. And I would like our audience to listen to you.
Yeah.
So
I would say that I have been very fortunate to have very good support system. Like my husband always supported me in my all the endeavors. Like But yes, I have took very, I would say, career-wise conscious decisions so that I could take or kind of do my family duties also. So when my kids were young, that was the reason that why I was in an entrepreneurship. Because if I would have joined the consultancy ecosystem or corporate at that time, corporate does not give you any leeway, for emergencies at home, or sometimes, it becomes very difficult. So in the initial years, that is why I became entrepreneur in the jewelry industry, because jewelry is not an of emergency ever, right? So, and I could put that much time only which is available after doing my domestic duties, also after raising my kids also. So this was like, so initially 10 years I was raising my kids, and I was also like being an entrepreneur, and I was gaining all that experience, which later on you were used in the consulting also, and later on in the insolvency also. And now what happened, like, my kids are settled, they are both grown ups, they are both now college going. In fact, my son has already finished the graduation, and my daughter is in third year of her graduation.
And
so
both
this
are in chartered accountancy, or they are
no,
different?
both are not actually.
Okay.
So my son graduated as an engineer,
Okay.
and my daughter is inclined towards psychology and neuroscience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she wants to become a psychiatrist or a counselor.
Oh,
Yes. So she's training to be that. And so this helped me in my career such a way that I always had my priorities set. So when my kids were very young, my priorities were my family and my kids. But at the same time, so that I do not lose touch, I was always doing something or the other. And one more thing which helped me in kind of navigating different roles is that I never left learning new skills. So whatever new skills I learned, that helped me in shaping my career, and that helped me in utilizing my skills to the maximum effort. So maybe I will not work, I would say, 18 hours or 16 hours, but even if I'm working 8-10 hours, my output is about like 15 hours or 20 hours in a day. So that helped me in balancing my life. And one more thing, Sanjeev sir, I totally believe in your emotional health, your mental agility, which you gain through experiences, through failures, through learnings only. And as much as the technical or knowledge skills is required, you need to have emotional EQ, emotional quotient, how you deal situations, and especially for RPs, for professionals like us, because all the time you are pulled into different directions from different stakeholders who have different vested interests. So how do you kind of manage? So work life balance is in every step of life. Every step of life, when you are even conducting the COC meeting, in that particular COC meeting, there are creditor sittings and there are promoter sittings. Directors and KMPs of the company are sitting, and both have very wide or different interests from each other. Like, promoter would not want their company to be.
Always a conflict of interest in a
There's always a conflict, and you are the chairperson of the meeting who's managing both the interests. Like, you are pacifying both the parties.
Even within COC also there are multiple classes.
Classes.
Manage their conflict.
Yes. See, ARCs, if ARC is coming as a part of the COC, their interests are totally different from the banks, from the financial institutions.
Then home buyers have a different interest.
Then home buyers have got altogether different interest. So this helps like your mental agility. Otherwise, this profession, you will always be, you will went into depression. You will have blood pressure high ki dawai khani padegi.
That's why I asked. I see lot of senior IPs retiring after 8-9 years because they could not handle the pressure.
They could not handle the pressure.
Here I see you, so that's why I asked this. So maybe for our audience, two most important things what you can suggest for the IP. Two most important skills, or maybe learning, whatever.
Yes. So we have been talking about it, and from 2017 I'm saying communication. And when I say communication, written, verbal, your body language, gestures. So communication is by all these three things. So when I say written, your emails, your reports, your minutes, your agendas, your every work, your draftings, your applications, everywhere, your intentions are communicated through your words. right? So written communication is very, very important. Vocal communication. You are meeting, you are dealing with people all the time. The only thing in insolvency you are dealing with is people. So right communication is very important, like vocal communication. And then third is like your non-verbal communication, which is like your gestures. So even if, you would believe you are so experienced, sometimes you are saying something else, but your body says something else. And no matter you think that you understand everything, but the other person, that you are controlling your body language, but the person gets it actually. You cannot hide it actually. So it is very important. And if you are not doing, you are just doing things for the sake of it, or you are saying words for the sake of it, people get it that you are actually saying it with intention, or you are just saying it for the sake of it. So they get it. So all three types of communications are very, very important for not only resolution professionals. I think that's the key of being successful in the life. And second is the attitude and the emotional quotient. Like where you will reach, how you will conduct your life and your professional life is all about your attitude.
And then attitude, you must keep it out the resolution mindset. No, always.
Resolution mindset,
you
problem solving
go into a
mindset.
problem into problem solving and resolution.
Yes.
Always. Even in the darkest hour, it should be resolution.
Resolution oriented, leadership mindset.
Yes.
And I was saying this, that we have so many RPs and I have worked so many. I have still not a single SCN. We have almost done 50 plus accounts in my IPE, not a single SCN. So I have done very conscious practice that if I'm there, I'm a court appointed officer, I will take my duties very, very seriously, and I will do it very, very diligently. So that is how, like, we do not have a single SCN till now. 16 RPs we are working together. Right. So no disciplinary action as of now in any of our cases.
Wonderful.
Yes. So complaints come, but when we give the documents, when we give the information and we provide all the data, the IBBI or IPAs or whosoever complains, it has never,
because I think Dr. Sahu also, and I used to tell in my lecture, whatever you do, one thing I used to teach IPs, that you record whatever you do. You speak to somebody, record it.
That is why I said communication. Like whatever you're doing, it has to be documented.
Today I spoke to this gentleman, record it. Yes. I did this, I wrote this letter, email, record it somewhere.
Yes.
That brings the memory, because your memory is short.
Yes.
So whenever you have a record, you can come out with it. And then second thing is communication. Whenever you write to them, you should be able to explain whatever you do. You should be able to explain that I did this.
So from the day one, different stakeholders will call me, or means all the RPs, whoever is there, they will call us, and I would simply say, sir, you mark me a mail, and I will reply.
Comes on record.
I have never ever, entertained any stakeholder just on the phone. I will make a document of that. Whatever problem you have, you mark me a mail, I will solve it, and that will create a record for me.
And even makes it easier to understand also. Sometimes he's not able to speak in a clear voice. So that comes in a clarity when he puts in black and white.
So from day one, this was my practice.
That's, I think, very good practice to share with our other IPs. So I think it was an excellent conversation.
Thank you.
And I really enjoyed it. And I hope our viewers will also enjoy it and learn from her. Most of us crib about IBBI being too penalizing, coming too much after here's a case. After 50 cases and
almost we have handled.
No SCN, no problem. So the underlying is communication, learning and attitude, and mindset of resolution.
We are resolution professionals. If we do not have resolution mindset, then we cannot.
You cannot go with a liquidation mindset in a resolution.
Never.
So with these words, I think thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sanjeev sir. It was totally my privilege that you have done this podcast with me, and we will be very happy to connect. Like if anybody has any questions or anything, we will be happy
please
to.
Do write to me and we will respond.
Thank you.